Hello everyone, welcome to 2LAM Coding. And today we will be discussing about a new topic and this topic will be in Python. Okay, so we will be discussing about how we can efficiently do logging in Python. So I have seen that in the real-time applications of Python, it's very important to logging, right? Because whenever your application runs, so you need to print the exceptions, you need to print the informations your code is going through so that by seeing the logs you can understand what's happening inside. Okay, so we will be seeing few methods how we can do it efficiently. So in the front of you currently we are having one simple class calculator.py file, and in this file I have created four methods, and these four methods are nothing but these are just add, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, and we are having two values, so we are doing these operations for these two values and we are printing something with a print statement. Okay, so the thing is that print will not work every time. Let's say you want to send these logs to some other place. When your application will be running in production environment, so this print will be output in the console only. But let's say you want to send it to some Datadog or Splunk or somewhere, so this print will not work. Okay, so that's why we want to convert this print into some efficient method through which you can do the logging in your Python. So let me run this particular code and show you currently the output of this particular project. So if you see, we are getting addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And this is coming from this particular print statements. Okay. And this is simple actually. This is just printing these particular logs. Okay. With this. Now, the thing is that we can do the logging in our Python uh, code actually. So I have commented some things here. I have put these levels actually. So these are very important. So before moving forward, let's understand what these are. So in the logging, we are having five kinds of logging levels. First one is the debug, then info, then warning, error, and critical. So these are nothing but types of logs actually. It's not like that if you do the debug log, then it will be printing in some different format or info log, so it will be printed in this different format. It's a very much confusion, okay, about these levels. These are simply the levels to let you know that this particular is a warning, this particular is a error, this particular is a information, it's a critical and it's a debug. Okay, and in these levels it this rank is defined actually. So if you see debug is 10, then info 20, warning 30, error 40 and critical 50. So we will be discussing about this particular ranking in few minutes. First of all, let's read about it. So in debug what it is saying, that detailed information useful only when diagnosing problem. Okay, when you want to diagnose your problem and some detailed information you want to print, you can use the debug log. Again, it is not something specific that this is some technical lingo or something and it will print in different kind. This log will also print like that, but you can mark it as debug when you want to print something in the detailed format for diagnosing a problem. Then second thing is info. So info is confirmation that things are working as expected, providing general operational information. Then warning, an indication that something unexpected happened or might cause a problem in the near future, the default level. So this is the default level actually. I'll be showing you how. Then error will be there, a serious problem that prevents the function from completing the task. And then critical, a serious error indicating that the program may be unable to continue running. Okay, so these are the log levels, and this ranking is here. This ranking means that when you will be enabling the logging level in your application, that let's say I enable the warning, so the warning level and the upper log levels will be enabled in your application automatically. If you enable the warning, then debug and info will not be working. And whenever we talk about the logging, the default will be warning. So I'll be showing you how. Okay. So let's say, let me do one thing. First of all, let me log this particular. Let me convert these prints into the logging actually. So what we can do simply, we can import the logging from this particular library. So Python is already having. Okay, so what we can do simply logging, we can replace the print from logging dot, let's say debug I'll do first. Okay, I'll be showing you some things. So I just did a debug. Let's say I just want it as a debug log to print. Then let me run my particular code, and if you see, nothing got printed. Nothing got printed. Why? Because the default level of logging is warning. And as I put the debug, so default is warning, and as I told you that this rank will be determining from which level it will be printing. So if I print the warning, error or critical, it will work, but debug is the less ranking than warning, so it will not print actually. And default logging level is warning every time. Okay, so let me change it to warning for now. Okay, and let me just print it. Okay, here also, and let me run this particular code now. So if you see, we are printing this particular thing, warning, then root. So we'll be discussing about this particular root later, but this is the logging level, and then your log, addition of 10 plus 5 equals to 15, and so on and so forth for other operations. Okay, so this is the thing about warning. And if like debug did not work because warning is the default logging level. Okay, if we are importing this particular library. Okay, so in our application, like every time, definitely you cannot change to warning, right? In your application, let's say you are putting the logs, but every time you cannot put a warning, right? You want a debug or information logs also. So how we can change this logging level? Let's see first. So how you can change is, there is a one thing dot basic config, logging dot basic configuration. So we can set the configuration of our logging. So for the changing the level of the log, there is a property which is called level. And in this level, we can set logging dot debug actually. So if you are setting debug, then this debug will be in all the capital letters. If you set debug, then all the logs will be enabled by default. Okay, because debug ranking is 10 and all the upper logs will be printed automatically. So if I print, let's say warning also, it will work. And for example, if I'll be converting it to debug now, so this should work, guys. So if you see, it is working, and now it is printing at a as a debug log, right? Debug, then subtraction and addition and multiplication division. So simple thing. Okay, so we have changed to debug, and all the logs, like let's say info, as info is having the 40 ranking, which is more than debug, so definitely it will also work. Okay, so if you see, this is the informational logs here. Okay, so this is the thing about it. Now one more thing is there. Every time you don't want to print the log into your console, let's say you want to print it in separate file. So to print the logs in the separate file, the logging provides you the way for that. Okay, so how you can do that? You can just give your file name or file name actually, and this file name, let's say dot log you want. Okay, so let me again run it. Let me clear this particular out. And if I run, so it is saying invalid syntax. Okay, comma is needed. So as I didn't put the comma. So if I run now, Python calculator 3. So if you see, nothing printed in the console, and we have created the test.log. So if you see the test.log, it is having our info root. This root we will be discussing about it later. And then addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all the logs got printed into this particular file. So it's a simple thing. Okay. Now, one more things comes into the picture, that this particular log is having one format actually, that it is printing info, then root, then addition, and all these things. Okay, so we want to change this particular format, so you can do it easily. So I am having this particular logging formats actually here. Okay, and this particular logging records attribute I have took from the Python official document. Okay, so in this documentation they are telling that if you want to format your log, then these are the formats. For example, for time, this is the format. If you want to file name include, then this will be the format. Then level you want to include, then this will be. So you can go from this particular URL and read about these things. So for example, let us set the format for our application. So with the file name and the log name debug, I want to set the format. So in this particular basic config, we are having a property format. In this format, let's provide some format. So first of all, let's say we want the time of this creation. Okay, so I put it, and then let's say colon, I want logging level also for this application. So I put the logging level, and then let's say I want the message. Okay, so I just did it. I just provided the format. So if I run our code now, then it should print it. So if you go to test log, then you can see guys that we are printing the time, then the level, and then our message. Okay, so this is our message, right? So in this particular way, you can change the format of your logs. Okay, so as I told you about this particular route, so we will be creating one more video to tell about some advanced concepts of this logging. So in this video, I just tried to explain you the very basic information about the logging, and this is how you can, rather than doing the print, you can just print your logging in some specific configuration and specific format into the file and understood about the logging levels. Okay, so yes guys, that's it for this particular tutorial, and we will be covering few more things into the next video, so just stay tuned. So yeah guys, see you in the next tutorial, and definitely if you are liking the videos, just hit the like button. If you are having any questions, put it into the comment section and subscribe the channel. So yeah guys, see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.